wrote a poem about Jeff after he passed away. It's called Jeff Ridgeway. If you look up self-advocacy, you'll see Jeff Ridgeway. When you want to find perseverance, just think of Jeff Ridgeway. Who got the Respectful Language Act passed? Jeff Ridgeway. Who put others in civil rights before himself? Jeff Ridgeway. Why are Alabama institutions closed? Jeff Ridgeway. How are new self-advocates learning and continuing? Jeff Ridgeway. Why does People First strive for employment first? Jeff Ridgeway. Who held my hands and said, believe in myself as president? Jeff Ridgeway. And to talk a little bit about that last line, where I got it a little choked up. At the People First Conference in August, which is the only time I was honored to actually meet Jeff in person, he held my hands and looked into my eyes and talked to me for a while. And I told him I was going to be the president of People First of Alabama, the new president. And he told me many things, many words of advice. We exchanged numbers and we're going to talk. But the one thing, holding my hands, he looked in my eyes and just said, believe in yourself and you will do a great job. And that was so powerful to me. I had never met him. I didn't know a lot about him. But it was so powerful to me. He put so much impact on me in those 5 minutes that I think, that makes me want to continue his work, his legacy, because this self-advocacy is his legacy. There's nothing else. I mean, that's what he had many other legacies, but that was his passion, self-advocacy. And we did change the Employment First bill name to the Jeff Ridgeway Employment First bill. It's the same thing, but we changed the name. But he's just, if he can be that empowerment to me in 5 minutes, and that's after he signed this magazine. They mentioned it in the movie, and this is the magazine they were talking about. He signed a magazine. If he can be that empowerment to me in 5 minutes, that we can continue his legacy, and we can continue all his wonderful work. And we all should strive to be a Jeff Ridgeway and get things passing. He did a lot of things. He rode buses. He did it. It was almost, I was told it was like a one-man show for the Respectful Language Act. He rode many buses, and he did put his health on the line for us. We will start having yearly, which this year it has already been awarded. It was awarded in December. And Vicki, please help me if I get the name wrong. Maybe this says, okay, yeah, this says, there is going to be a Jeff Ridgeway Advocacy Award. In December, it was awarded. It was ADAP decided what they wanted to do the award. And it was decided that if it was going to be the Jeff Ridgeway Award, that the first recipient of the award should be Jeff Ridgeway. So Jeff Ridgeway was presented that award in December, and we're lucky because he went on to be in heaven on February 1st, and so it was very timely that we did that, and so that will be something that will be awarded yearly for a self-advocate. And we are encouraging people, we are videotaping this, and we are encouraging people to come up here who I'm sure there's people in here that I know there's people in here that knew Jeff better than me, but he was very powerful to me, and I hate that we never got to talk on the phone and I didn't get to pick his brain. He said he was gonna give me all his tips, and he gave me a few that night, but so many people wanted to speak to him, and I don't blame them. So we're gonna ask if for anybody who wants to speak about Jeff.
What is illegal? Is it someone that commands arms? Is it a politician who writes laws? Is it a sheriff in a small country town? Or is it a teacher helping children learn how to read? In the leadership development program, we do not have to be a big shot, a politician, career path, or on a degree to be a leader in our community. We only need to work with and help people like you and me. I would like to take credit for writing that speech or that poem, but I can't do that because that was a joke. That's Jeff Ridgeway at his finest, ladies and gentlemen. When Vicki first asked me if I would be willing to facilitate, I said yes, absolutely. I only had the privilege, and I'm going to say it was a true privilege to meet Jeff one time. It's been about 20 minutes together. We actually had dinner. We were in Birmingham, Alabama. I was in a conference, and I was at a table with James Tucker, Jeff, myself, and some other people. And what struck me about Jeff first and foremost was he was so humble. He did not do it for himself. He did not understand the impact that he made on the lives of Alabamians with disabilities. He did not understand the impact that he made on other self-advocates. He did not understand the impact that he had on advisors. But that's the kind of person Jeff was. Who would get on the bus all by himself to drive to a meeting in the middle of the night? That is Jeff Ridgeway. Multiple times. Thank you. That is Jeff Ridgeway. Who would, in his last months of his life, continue to advocate for what he believed in, which was full inclusion for the lives of persons with disabilities. That is Jeff Ridgeway. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to walk around, and if anyone wants.
First of all, you got to excuse me if I wind up in the tears. Because, like the lady said earlier, if Jeff got into something, he put his teeth into it. And when she said put his teeth into it, if you didn't believe in it and you argued with Jeff, that's like arguing with a wall. Jeff would not give up. He would not let me give up. I first met Jeff when we did our Southern Collaborative Conference together in 2006. I knew him before then, but when I really got to know Jeff was at that conference. Because that was the hardest conference to put together for a bunch of folks. And Jeff looked at me and he said, we're going to do it. I said, what do you mean we? He said, because we work as a team. I said, I'm not a part of this team anymore. He said, you want to bet? He said, you've been doing stuff after all these many years and you ain't going to quit now. He threatened to put his foot in my behind. And that was the hardest thing for me to say, Jeff, wait a minute, we're not even on the same team. He says, as long as I'm around, we're on the same team. So I actually decided to back out for a minute. You don't do that with Jeff. Once you start something with Jeff, you got to finish it. I wouldn't call him for a while. I wouldn't even take his texts or his emails. Jeff got on a bus, brought his behind to Atlanta. And he looked me up on my job. And he said, what is your problem? I've been emailing you, I've been texting you and calling you. He said, I'm going to be worse than a sore thumb. Every time you don't answer my call, you'll see me. And I didn't know what to say to him. So finally I looked up and I said, Jeff, we got to do this thing together because you ain't letting me go nowhere. And the last thing I remember Jeff saying to me was at the statewide conference. He said, see, I told you you wasn't going nowhere, and I'm still around. And he said, I'm still willing to fight. So you got to fight with me. And sometimes it gets hard for us self-advocates, even as old pros, because sometimes you want to give up. Because you got people that are fighting against you every day. But all I can say is, folks, Jeff made me realize what it was to really be a setback for people. Because he didn't give up. He fought until his last days. And we cannot, and I will not let society defeat what I started, Jeff and everybody else in this room. We cannot and we will not. No, thank you.
I first met Jeff, it was in Rhode Island, and I think it was the first time that I supported people from South Carolina at a national conference, and we really didn't know what to expect or how things were going to be. But when we met Jeff Ridgeway, from there on, he just had that way of making you feel comfortable. Every time you saw him, he was like, come on, So I just want to say to the Alabamians and the self-advocacy world that we may have lost a great one, but he will forever live, within our hearts and within this movement. And as an advisor, I'm just so fortunate to have gotten an opportunity to know this great man. And Brittany mentioned the Alabama People First Conference. I'm so thankful and so happy that I was privileged to be at that event where I did get a chance to have words with him. So Jeff, I just want to say that I love you, and I love you on behalf of the South Carolinians and the entire nation.
What I think about Jeff is that he had a good bad place. He is with the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And you want to let him live up above. He was Jesus Christ. He died for our sins. He raised from the dead. He is coming back. But what I'm trying to say is, if we want to live our lives, or hurting our homes, we need to step up and do it. Because you don't know how long we are going to live. I still don't know how long I'm going to live. But now, Father, there is Jesus Christ in our heart. But the point is, if we want to die, we gotta wait until he comes back. He is coming back. Because we are going to fall into his hands and be with him. If y'all don't know that I'm a Christian, believe it, I'm a Christian.
So that's all I have to say.
That Jeff wouldn't let anything go. He was the biggest, darnest, most hard-headed bulldog I've ever seen in my life. But there is one little thing I'd like to say. I think I told everybody yesterday that I work for the Department of Mental Health, and when I first started, I think within my first 6 months to a year, it was Jeff that changed the department's name and got the R word out of it. So that was kind of, you should have heard the buzz and the excitement around the office after that happened. Of course, it'll take a long time to get it completely out, but he's the one that did that. He's the one that changed our name. And people first got real excited about that too. So I think we all had a big smile about like that after he did that. So, but yeah, I met Jeff about just a little over 10 years ago when I first became state president of the People First. I think I took the reins from him, and he was quite a character, to say the least. I think anybody here that knows him real well, like I know him, will agree to that he was quite a character. And he was, I saw him in action with the ladies, and he should have wrote a book.
I haven't known Jeff that long, only for a few years. I met Jeff in 2010 at the national conference in Kansas City. And I can remember that how I was running for alternate and that how nervous I was. And here comes Jeff. Calm down, don't worry, everything will be all right. But like everyone was saying, that once Jeff ended up getting things started, that's it. There ain't no stopping. And that's how Jeff was, because I seen Jeff as a true advocate. I seen him as a teacher, and I see him as a leader. And he's the one that had helped me to end up getting started and helped me to get where I'm at on today. And really, you thought really I have done this by myself. I haven't done it by myself. Because really, if it wasn't for Jeff, then I don't know that I would have been this far where I'm at today. I mean, so really, I thank Jeff all what he has done for me. I don't even know that I would be able to end up taking away the R word, really, if it wasn't for Jeff, by him just encouraging me. So really, I have gotten that out. We have gotten that straight. The R word is out on today. And really, I have missed Jeff. I have called him a couple times. We have good and we have bad. But we we also had told each other everything would be all right. You keep your head up. We keep fighting. There's no giving up. You wanted this job, so you do it. That's how Jeff was. If you're going to do self-efficacy, you do it. You do what you say what you're going to do. And you don't stop until you done get it done. And that's where I see Jeff.
I've known Jeff, for almost 30 years, 25 soon. And he would call me often. And,
Early in the morning, in the middle of the night.
early in the morning, in the middle of the night. I didn't always answer the phone. I did quite a bit. And, you often open it up by saying, I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news. Which one you want to hear first? And so, we go through our little routine with that. And, he was so passionate about all the things that y'all have been talking about today. About self-advocacy, about being fully included in our communities. And he was that energizer bunny. He was, a real torchbearer for self-advocacy. And y'all said this, you either loved him or you hated him, or you both at different times, depending on, what position he was taking on things. So, but we had lots and lots of conversations, and we traveled a lot, together. So I'm certainly going to miss him, and I know Alabama will miss him. But he never really gave up, not even at the end. In December, when he was presented the Jeff Ridgeway Award, and let me just say that Jeff was on this committee that gave the award, and he thought it was good for him to get it, which is appropriate since it's named the Jeff Ridgeway Award. But what the award is going to be it does have some money attached to it that will be given to a self-advocate every year in Alabama that represents the spirit that Jeff lived. But in December, he unfortunately was in a nursing home right before he died because he had, some really significant health problems that he wanted to be close to his family and he couldn't live with his family, so he moved to a nursing home. But in December, when I was up there for his birthday, he said, I think I really want to get out of this nursing home. And so I had a new waiver that not many people had used, so we were talking about that, and that was our plans, was for him to move. He wanted to get back, into his own place and not be living with those rules. In fact, he came to me and said, you think we could do an expose on these nursing homes? So, and I think he had those conversations with ADAP too, so, it wasn't to be. Jeff was, ended up, passing away from us, and, but he's certainly still a part of us, and he does, he is what it's all about, and I think Brittany said it so well, that he has passed the torch to our young folks, to keep that power going. So.
We never knew him, my brother and I never met him. But feel like these stories we're hearing are right, Bill?
Right.
But we some kind of have a kinship to him, way Vicky over here was talking about his tenacity, about him being just like my brother and I, like going to get it and all, like everybody's in tears right now, but up in Tennessee, we don't shed tears. We go kick butt is what we do in Tennessee. This is what we do. The reason I say that because we're a little wrestler in Tennessee by the name of Jerry the King Lawler. If you know what I mean, from Memphis, Tennessee. But we have the best, we've had the best advisor that People First of Tennessee's ever had, and that is Ruthie Beck was, and like, we're getting these institutions closed down in Tennessee, and she got to tenacity too. And she's, knew him, as what Vicky said, knew this gentleman. I call him a southern gentleman, just like us, because that's what we all three are. And this text from Ruthie reads as it follows. You had told me that he was ill, but it is still very hard to hear that he's gone. What a powerful thing, I guess that's what it is. But I'll say this, if he was put here for the Lord, sent him here for a purpose, he fulfilled that purpose. And the good Lord has called him and said, well done, my servant. Well done. And you're coming home to me. And this powerful, this what Ruth says, a powerful creative voice for freedom and life. My prayers and thoughts are with all of you in Alabama. He may as well say it's with us in Tennessee. He may as well say it. But like I said, the Lord had a purpose for him. It's like me and Bill never knew him. And he walked this earth doing what God put him here to do. And the Lord sees fit when you're suffering so long, the Lord sees fit to call you home. You just go home and be with Him and go to a place where there's no suffering. And we all want to do someday, like my brother and I lost our mother up in Tennessee, and she's gone, and we could recollect that feeling, but how everybody felt about him, because we felt the same way about our mother when we was with her up in our hometown in the hospital, and she went peacefully on. And so we know how that feels to lose somebody you love, that you're real close to, and you never want to give them up. And I know nobody never wanted to give him up, but it would have been the best for him. Like I said, he's gone to be with the Lord, and he's doing what he's doing best in heaven now. Is not suffering, and he's probably with a lot of his loved ones up there right now. And my brother wants to say something right now.
Take it away.
Yeah, my brother's speaking about him, and then I learned quite a bit about self-advocacy, quite a bit with some, especially learning more now that I've got to be president of our state chapter in Tennessee, and to another president, to the president in Alabama, and it's come from me. She was speaking that she had become emotional some about him. And, well, rightly so, I guess I probably would have been about him too, had I known him. And Brittany was speaking about if she was emotional about it and all. Well, I can certainly understand why. And I probably would have been too, but being a fact I never knew him, and captions we saw on the film over here about him, about what people in the state said about him, and what our step-advisor said about him in Tennessee, what he was, the overall tenacity, way he was, his self-determination was, he was a go-getter, no doubt. He persevered, he fought for what he believed in, for people with disabilities everywhere, and he fought to get the R name taken out and quit use, and he just lifted us all up and told us that we were people, and he just fought for us all, especially the people in Alabama. They really led good kinship to him, and rightly so. We're in Tennessee, and Alabama sits right up under us, and so we feel a certain amount of kinship to him somewhat too. And the resume and the portrait portrayed by people that knew him, he was quite a fellow. What can I say? You know, he was him. He was Jeff Ridgeway. And he believed in everybody with disabilities, and so did I. And I really appreciate things that were said about him, and all. He was just quite a person that wouldn't quit. He just loved. And even I didn't know him, I felt like I can honestly, truly say, I do now. And his legacy and dream will be remembered, and it'll live on forever. And y'all had quite a character down in Alabama.
I don't know, I think that says it all.
And Jeff was Jeff, and I felt like we would have been somewhat of a team with him too, well, because we believe in persevering and standing up for what we believe in, and think that we're going to be getting changed up in Tennessee, and our institutions are going to be soon finally going to be closing. We're going back to court, federal court, to iron out to get all the final details of the closing there. And we're going to be Tennessee going to be institution free like Alabama and several other states that's going that way. And Alabama, we're really proud of y'all on everything. And I'm proud to be with a good president here, Ricky. And I would like to turn this back over to her.
We shall overcome.
God bless y'all in Alabama, the people serve everywhere, and our sympathy is with y'all. And we're really going to be thinking about y'all all the time.
In order to do this the appropriate way, I feel like that I would like to ask the state of Alabama to please come up. The state of South Carolina, we would like to present People First of Alabama. You all right? There's a picture of Jeff that in the remembrance. It'll say, "Friends Forever from South Carolina." And why well, we feel like that Jeff are a part of South Carolina because there's plenty of our advocates know Jeff Ridgeway. And some of us only had known him for a few years, and there are some that had known him plenty of years. And that, like I have said before, Jeff is a teacher, and he's a leader as well. And he's a true advocate. And when he said that he's gonna do something, he do it. And that he don't stop until he get it done. Now probably like sometimes that Jeff would have gone ahead and get mean at it, but the good thing about it was that Jeff would have put his foot down. And the number one thing that also I was taught by Jeff, when an advisor or either a partner in a trying to go ahead and turn their back on you, or does it feel like that they won't listen to you, or doesn't have no self-efficacy, or don't understand you, you keep fighting. You don't give up on it. You keep fighting for it. You get them involved. Because see, I never did know how to get partners involved, to get them closer to us. And now, and it was so hard for the state of South Carolina to get our partners more involved into what we are doing. And a lot of that was taught by Jeff. And Jeff is a good person, and he will be missed. And he won't be made. Ain't no might in there. He will be missed. And he just won't be missed from People First of Alabama. He will be missed from the self-advocates. Because he picked up the torch and he carried it. And now what he wants the young advocates to do is to go ahead and pick up that torch and follow him. Follow him. So he wants us to continue it. He don't want us to stop. So whatever we had, in 5, 10, or 15 years, you feel like it won't happen, you don't think that way. You keep thinking positive. And good things will come out of it if you think positive. And that was another good thing about Jeff. So I'm saying to the state of Alabama, the young